Hey everybody, and welcome to just another naughty
podcast.
Just another naughty podcast. We're naughty today. I'm being joined today by Nick. We'll be joined here soon by Tiana. She has some stuff going on, so she's gonna be on her way. For those of you guys who don't know, this is our weekly podcast where we talk about nerdy news and the things that we're passionate about. So Chris, how you doing? Yes, Tiana's going to be here.
Hey, Chris.
Just imagine Tiana right here. She'll be here soon. So this week we have I definitely watched Captain Marvel. Nick has not yet. Mm-hmm. And Tiana is a question mark. We don't know if she's seen it yet. So
yeah, you can go ahead and spoil a little bit. I don't know how Tiana feels about it.
We'll try and do like a spoiler-free review. How about that? So we'll do a spoiler-free review of Captain Marvel. We're also going to be talking about some big nerdy news stuff. Just another nutty chair. Gotta ask, how nutty can we get? I'm doing good. Careful, Chris. Careful. For those of you who don't know, we had an interview earlier this week with Tripod GG. He is a tech guy who streams. He's known for Fallout, but he does a lot of other stuff now. But we did an interview earlier this week. The interview will be up soon. However, I had to fight the elements with my Wi-Fi. And so it's going to be a lot of stitching together and uploading, which takes time. So I haven't had time this week, but it will be up here soon. Same thing with the D&D podcast. I just have to do a couple of edits. Got to do some edits, but we do have a D&D podcast we're doing now too. Some of the guys are getting together. They play D&D. I'm not able to be there on Mondays right now, so we're going to see how that all goes. But we do have the first 2 episodes that I just have to put like an intro and an outro on, and then we'll be good. So that's our stuff. If you guys aren't following us on Facebook, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, CastBox, Twitter. Tommy's actually running our Twitter now. Oh, he's doing a really good job. He's having conversations with people. So do us a favor, follow and try and have a conversation with Tommy and see how that goes.
Yeah, don't let me run anything like that.
No? No. I think the weakest thing that I have right now is Instagram. We actually got removed from Instagram for a little bit. They cut us.
Really?
And I had to, I shit you not. So they're like, you violated policy, and I was like, but how? And then they never said anything. And so then they were like, well, to get it active again, you have to write this code down on a piece of paper along with your name and then the username. And then take a picture with your face next to the paper, holding the paper with decent lighting. And I was like, fuck you.
So you got flagged as a bot or something.
I don't know. I mean, I mainly use it to share clips of the podcasts. So I don't know if they just didn't like that or what. Maybe I need to put more pictures up. Who knows?
Could be.
Who knows? But they didn't. They were like, no. And I'm like, I personally post all of this shit. So I can tell you I am not a bot. So I had to do that. And we're back up. I just haven't put anything on there because I'm afraid of Instagram right now. I also put in so I took the picture. I'm all pissed off, holding the piece of paper, glaring, and then I also wrote at the bottom, also, this is fucking stupid. I was like, Arr! So that was annoying as hell. But we do have an Instagram, but that's the weakest thing. I'll post clips and stuff. I have picture ideas. I'm just too lazy and untalented to execute those ideas. So that is kind of how that's going. Chris, tell us how your week has been, sir. Let us know how you're doing. But yeah, I mean, things have been good. It's been a couple of weeks now, right? Yeah. Been a few weeks. How you been doing, Nick?
Good.
Doing anything interesting? What did you? We were just talking Batman
versus Ninja Turtles.
Is it versus or meets?
Versus.
It is versus. Does he fight them?
Yes.
All 4 of them?
Yes.
Oh.
And he fights the Shredder.
And he fights Shredder.
That fight looks awesome. It looks like it's going to be awesome.
I do want to see Batman fight the Shredder. Did it say at the end, is this going to be a DC exclusive?
Oh, what do you mean? The
DC TV, sorry.
I think it's going to be out on some type of. I think it's going to be out on Blu-ray.
I hope so.
A lot of,
I'd
well,
like to
I mean,
rent
it's
it.
going to be eventually, but I'm sure it has to be.
They're pushing exclusivity with that DC TV service, and I'm not in yet. I'm not in on it. Once they're So I was planning on. Well, yeah, that's the problem. Is they give you like a 7-day free trial, and at the end of the 7 days, they charge you $75 for a year.
Wow.
And I was like, that's. I mean, a decent price point for a year. However, I like $75 at the risk of that coming out of my account. My wife would kill me.
Yeah. That's a lot all at once.
And I need to binge watch. Like, if they would do, like, a monthly thing and then you could switch that would be fine. But, I mean, I suppose it's a really good safeguard. Like, it is, like, if you're serious about watching it, that's going to be the best thing. But if you're not serious, you're not going to do it. Like, I'm not 100% serious about signing up for this, so I'm not going to do it. So it's a good safeguard, but I just don't. I don't want to.
Yeah, the Batman versus Ninja Turtles. That's definitely the more brooding Batman. He's not spitting out catchphrases. I don't think they have Kevin Conroy doing it, but it kind of sounds like him.
Ooh, that'd be super cool.
They're definitely going full camp with the story though, because it has Ra's al Ghul and Shredder coming up, and he says something like I know the person that we need to get a hold of if you want to do whatever they want to do.
Right.
And so they go to, they have a shot of them going to what looks like Arkham to see the Joker with a canister of mutagen.
Okay.
So they're going to have some type of crazy mutant Joker in there at some point.
No shit.
Yep.
Troy Baker is playing Batman. That's
Troy
a
Baker.
genius cast.
Who's that again?
He does a lot of like voice work. So, did you ever play Last of Us?
No.
Oh,
Just a
right.
little bit.
Let me see if I can get a good Troy Baker like cast list here. He's in a lot of video game stuff. Like he voices a lot of video game characters. So let's see here. BioShock Infinite. He played Booker.
It's definitely in the vein of Kevin Conroy.
Oh, he plays Sam Drake, so Nathan Drake's brother in Uncharted 4.
Okay.
Because
I watched a lot of that with Travis.
Because Nathan Drake is he does what is it? He's played by the other like infamous voice actor to whom I cannot remember his name right now. It's like I don't remember his name. It's like, oh, it's gone. Joel. Nope. But anyways, that's like Troy Baker is a good pick. Like him as Batman, but also over here, like they have Darren Criss, who I think he was in like Glee and shit. Yeah, he was. He's playing Raphael. Like, I mean,
Nice.
Alfred Bane.
He was pretty good. I don't like the way Bane looks, but I'm very picky about my Banes.
Yeah, I mean, recently I haven't been terribly impressed with Bane. I think a lot of people know my feelings about The Dark Knight Rises. I'm not a fan.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I think Bane was a good part of that movie. However, I don't think I didn't like the art direction on him. You know,
That's not Bane to me, but I mean,
he's supposed to be the most badass ninja ever. Like, I mean, he's supposed to be like Batman level badass of ninja, and be super big and strong. And it just, I don't know. I mean, he broke Batman's back, I guess, and he just took a hit like a mother. But
I guess they're trying to ground him a little bit. But
here we are. Here we go. Okay, everyone. Tiana is amongst us. So yeah, no, I enjoyed the trailer. Yeah, that thing, we'll have to warn her before she comes in, because that thing, I almost took it down, and I knew it was there. I was like, ah! We have a complicated lighting setup. It's actually not complicated. It only took me a very minimal amount of time to do this today, which is nice because it feels like an uphill battle.
don't trip on that.
Hey, how are we doing today?
Hey.
I live.
I'm so sorry.
That's...
I should have sent you a reminder.
It's been a few days.
She comes with enough rock star to fuel a friggin' jet plane.
I've been sleeping for like 3 days straight.
Oh.
Mental health issues.
I haven't been. I stayed up all night and watched Black Mirror and stared off into the void, wondering why I did that.
I have been binge watching Orange is the New Black lately.
Have you?
I have never seen it before, and now I'm starting to understand.
I got through the first 3 seasons. I can't remember what season I quit, but it just like for
Isn't
me
when
it
Prison
just
Riot started?
for me it just tanked in quality at some point.
Prison Riot has been a little hard.
I see. Maybe it might have been around there, but I love the
turn my-
first few seasons. It was great.
I'll admit I've only seen the first minute of the first episode, and that was because my boss was like, yeah, you should. I was like, I need stuff to binge watch while I'm sitting here at the movie theater doing nothing, and she's like, you should. This is dated how long it's been. She goes, you should. It's pre-gamers. She goes, you should watch Orange is the New Black. I'm like, is that a work appropriate? And she's like, yeah, totally.
Oh yeah, totally.
Totally.
Yeah.
Starts off with a lesbian shower scene, and I'm like, whoop.
Yep.
I'll come back to this one.
The
Totally
main
work
character
appropriate.
of the main season is probably the worst character of the entire show. She's awful.
Yeah.
Brie
she's
Larson? Her character? Yeah? Okay.
She's awful. I can't
Is
stand
she?
her character.
bad. Yeah, she's
Aw.
bad. She's really bad.
When it gets finally gets to the point where they stop focusing on her ever at all, that I was like, oh, this is picking up.
Yep.
Is she, didn't she win awards and stuff for that?
Yeah, she did, and I don't know why.
Okay.
I mean, I think she's a good, interesting character. She's just very deplorable and very annoying person. But
Oh, okay. I've again, lesbian shower scene, then I was like, I'll come back, and then I never did.
she's like,
And that's not because of the lesbian shower scene. It was just this is not work appropriate. I can't watch this right now. And then I lost focus.
Right now, it's really delving into the whole Black Lives Matter movement and all of that. And as somebody who lived in St. Louis, right as that took off, I'm really seeing a lot of things that obviously I'm not Black. Obviously I don't live that life, but I did see a lot of people that affected me personally. When those riots started, those riots were in my backyard. Literally, when I say backyard, they were a block from my house.
wow.
I was in New York when the riots happened, and Devin was posting to Facebook, "I'm not going home tonight, just so everybody knows I'm safe." And he didn't call me to tell me, and I found out the next day when I looked on Facebook, and I was called him going, "What the fuck does that mean? What does it mean you're not going home?" And he's like, "Oh, there were riots." And I was like, "What?"
Oh, dear. Oh, no.
And so that was my world. And then I was at conventions, and people are like, "Oh my God, did you hear about Ferguson?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's in St. Louis."
Yeah.
That's literally where we live.
Was that post gamers or was that?
That was pre-gamers.
Pre-gamers. Okay.
I was still in St. Louis.
Because I remember having this conversation.
So right now the show is in the middle of a riot, and they're talking about the Black Lives Matter movement. And there's a lot of things that it's obvious that this season is when that stuff is happening because it's referencing a lot of things that were going on. So there's a lot of things that are very...
It's hard for me to date anything politically anymore because my brain, I'm just in the now, so that when something happened in the past, I'm like, I don't know where I was at that point because there's so much has happened in the past 4 years.
Me living there versus me living here makes the difference on me.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, I guess since I've been back to Grinnell, I'm I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Whereas when I could date something back when I was in college, I remember voting, not this last election, but the election before that on campus and working the actual election polls for the campus production services. That's one of the things we had to put on was the election, which I was
the year that all happened was the year my ex-husband and I split, and I was literally traveling the entire year.
Okay.
I spent 6 months on the road. So I remember, like, there was distinct points that I was like, oh, I was in Texas at this point. Oh, I was in, like, New Orleans at this point. Oh, I was in Detroit at this point. Like, I spent 6 months traveling, so it depends on where I was at that time. Depends on which riot there was.
Okay.
My home base was St. Louis, but I was...
So did you get to see Captain Marvel?
No, I've pretty much been sleeping for 3 days.
I'm alone on this then, so we'll do a spoiler-free review today. I'll do a spoiler-free review. Feel free to ask any questions. Nick asked me like a couple of questions, but we can like retouch on them and talk about stuff. But
I have heard good things.
I was like, first initial thing I will say, it is good. It is enjoyable. I will put it at about the level of Ant-Man and Wasp, where it was a really fun, like, spectacle wise, great job. Like the CG work they did in the movie was really good. I did not enjoy. No, it took me a little while to understand this, and when someone else said it in their review, it finally clicked. I could not figure out what was going on with Brie Larson, and it just like it was. Her character was incredibly boring. I walk a little. Yeah, okay. Her character was incredibly boring. I read the one above it too, but she's just boring, and she's a soldier, you know. So I guess I don't know. They have it that, like, it's basic plot. You know, it's in the basic plot, so it's not spoiling anything. But her memories are fragmented. She doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't remember her life before she became a Kree soldier. So she has no idea what happened or why or any of that. So having this character with a fragmented memory that's just a soldier kind of creates this like matte surface of a character. Like, she's not interesting. Nick Fury is interesting. Sam Jackson makes anything interesting. Like, he did a great job.
True story.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job, and all of the side characters are really, really good. The villains are surprisingly matte surface characters too, but I can't get too much into that because that's spoiler territory as well. But it's really good. Like, there's one character I can't talk about him, but he's like my favorite character now. Like, I'm so mad because he's so cool. A lot of interesting controversy swooshing around this movie that I think is really unnecessary. People are pissed off about. Like, Brie Larson had this interview, I guess, at like a Comic-Con panel.
I remember that.
And all she said was, isn't it interesting how, like, statistics wise we have 80% male, like white male, like reviewers, like critics, 80% white male. And she goes, I don't need to hear their perspective on A Wrinkle in Time because A Wrinkle in Time was not made for them. I want to hear the, like the mixed race, like teenage girl perspective because that's who it was written for. And she goes, I just think there needs to be more of those critics influencing an overall score than every single white male when it wasn't made for them. And so people took it off as boom, and then all these guys were like, we're gonna score this a 1, this movie's garbage, fuck you, Brie Larson. And they get so mad, and it didn't matter.
But that's such a true statement.
It's a relevant thing to say, and God forbid she have an opinion. She didn't. Like, my friend, I was talking to him about it, and he almost made it sound like there was a guy that said something, and she said, I don't want to hear your perspective as a white male. She did not say that. She was making a blanket statement, just saying, isn't it interesting? Why do we do it this way? Like, this is, it doesn't make any sense. And that's a good point. And I fully agree with her because as a white male, I did not watch A Wrinkle in Time because it did not interest me. I saw the trailer. I was almost won over by Chris Pine, and then they kept calling this girl a warrior. This little teenage girl, she's like, I'm a warrior. And I'm like, I can imagine like my niece really digging that like movie, like being, I'm a warrior. But as an adult white male, I'm like, this is not my thing. Not made for me. 100% exactly. Right. And so I went to this movie regardless. There's a lot of people giving this movie a 10. Like, I was watching the Angry Joe review. A lot of people gave this movie a 10. or a 1. And I agree in the sense that it is neither a 10 or a 1. It is a good movie. It's entertaining. There's some big, like the Endgame, like, so there's a teaser for Endgame. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same as they did for Captain America Civil War, where they had a teaser, and I don't remember what movie for Captain America Civil War, but it was like Bucky chained to a thing, and they're like, we have to interview him. Well, Bucky. And then there was like Captain America Civil War, blah, 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 blah. And that was the next movie. I'm pretty sure this is the same where it was like, it's going to be in the next movie. The scene they showed will be in Endgame, so it doesn't really matter that much. However, there are a ton of questions that it answers. Without getting too spoilery, you find out what happens to Nick Fury's eye. I mean, I think everyone thought that was pretty obvious. You see him with both eyes in the movie, and somewhere after that, he's missing an eye, so you get to see what happens to his eye. I will not tell you what happened. I will just say that it is very divisive. Some people will be very pleased. Some people will be pissed the fuck off.
Some type of bathroom mishap or something.
I can't tell you. I really can't. That would be funny if he did lose it to pink eye. No, like, and then, again, not exactly spoilery, but, like, you find out the cat's name. So the cat's name in the comics is Chewie. They renamed it Goose for no reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't Goose a...
It's a call sign
reference?
in Top Gun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the second guy, which is, it's fine. I understand it. I don't understand why they shied away from Chewie. I mean, I would have thought, like, oh, maybe rights. And then I was like, oh, yeah, Disney owns the rights to Star Wars. So they could totally call him Chewie if they wanted with no legal, like, ramifications. So I don't know why they changed it. I'm fine with it. It's fine. People are pissed off, though. Still, this movie took a lot of liberties. And the big twist that I will not spoil is a huge liberty. Like, it is probably the most controversial thing they did. And it changes the landscape of all the movies going forward. So,
Isn't this movie set in the past?
yeah, it's set in 1990s, which I was thinking about this. So the female movies now are that we now have two standalone female movies. We have Wonder Woman and we have Captain Marvel, like female-led superhero movies.
Tell me, is the twist that they bring in the X-Men?
No, sweet Jesus! If they did, I'd shit myself.
I saw.
I wouldn't hold back.
I saw a meme today where they were like, "Wouldn't it suck if Captain Marvel?" and then it showed a picture of Rogue and it said, "Lost her powers." I was like,
That would be an interesting explanation for where she's been for 10 years.
what, she died and Rogue has all of her powers now?
Well, Rogue.
For
at least in
anybody
the
who doesn't know where the comics go.
At least in the animation, Rogue puts her in a coma. So,
Oh, that's right.
So that would be kind of cool if she got put into a coma and was stuck that way. It wouldn't make any sense with a pager or any shit like that. I'm gonna wake her up now, mother.
Well, maybe she just woke up and maybe she's got amnesia.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, she does, but
yeah, she's amnesia again.
again,
Which is, I heard a common theme in the comics for her. She just continuously gets amnesia.
prone to getting amnesia. It's unfortunate.
But
And her getting Captain Marvel's powers is what teaches her how to control her powers. Rogue becomes a more interesting character then.
Yeah.
Well, and Rogue is automatically a more interesting character than Captain Marvel. I've heard a lot of people talk about how, their issues with Captain Marvel. She's just, as a character, she's just very stoic and non-interesting.
Yeah.
And her powers are the coolest part. Other than that, so to pass that on to Rogue makes more sense because she's far more interesting as a character. Mm-hmm. But this is our second female-led superhero film to come out, and interestingly enough, they both are dated movies. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand the obsession with that. I get why this makes sense thematically because it puts her before all of the Avengers shit. Mm-hmm. And then there's even kind of something that makes something else make sense. My biggest question was why Fury calls them the Avengers when they don't have anything to avenge to start with, and this explains that, and it makes sense. It appeased that sense in my head. But I've always wondered the period piece thing. But the thing that drives me nuts is they push 90s really hard in this movie. Mm-hmm. So the movie's set in 1995. Carol disappears in 1989. So the movie is set 6 years before she disappears, or like before she becomes like Kree. You know what I mean? So none of this 90s shit makes any sense to her. They don't show that, but it wouldn't make sense to her. And there's a scene where like she's in her head kind of, and Nirvana's "Come As You Were" starts playing.
Yeah.
Why? Why? She's probably never heard this song. What year did that song come out?
1991.
Yeah, makes no sense. It makes no sense for this movie. and like, so I was thinking about it, I was like, Iron Man, whenever so you find him like in the first movie, I think, listening to Rage Against the Machine. In Avengers, he's literally blasting AC/DC out of the Quinjet when he first meets Captain America. Like, Iron Man is a fan of AC/DC and Black Sabbath and Rage Against the Machine. Like, that these songs that play are things that are probably running through his head. Like, it helps you connect to the character. However, none of the songs that are playing in this movie, Captain Marvel, she would know nothing about it. So as someone like who kind of connects to that, it disconnected me in the movie, like especially when she's in her head and like it gets to the point where like Nirvana's playing and I'm like, she would not know anything about this. Mm-hmm. That drove me nuts. And it pushes 90s like really hard, like to a point where it was kind of against anything I cared about. Like there's a point where she like breaks up a Game Boy to like, do some tech shit with it.
Look, it's a Game Boy.
Yeah, it's like, look, it's a Game Boy. 90s. And I was just like, I was kind of like...
But which Game Boy? The original?
The OG.
The OG, the brick.
Yeah, the OG brick.
We're talking.
Yeah.
My ex-husband had one of those, left it in the yard one year, like right before it got snowed on, left a whole bit. Found it in spring, still worked. Batteries still, like, didn't even have to put new batteries in it. Still worked. It was awesome.
Those are pretty durable.
A beast.
So, I mean, good movie. A few things that drove me crazy, but, like, spectacle-wise, it was awesome. The music was nice to listen to. It just didn't make any sense to me. The twist was big enough that... The twist was big enough that it was like, okay, it does change the landscape. But the thing about it is the person behind the twist, if I can... stretch that far, is charismatic enough to make you love the twist. It's interesting. Like, there's a guy who's my new hero. he's or lady, either way.
Charismatic guy.
So it was good. It was a good movie. Nick Fury definitely carried the work in this movie. Some of the supporting characters carry the work. There's a lady who plays her friend who does some really good acting in this movie. And it's like she's acting to a brick wall because Brie Larson's just stoic as fuck. She has kind of a weird alien look sometimes. She's like very intense eyes.
I mean, that does fit the character.
Yeah. I'm excited though for because yeah.
All right, I dropped this once, so we're gonna.
Oh, sweet Jeebus. So there's my Captain Marvel review. It was a good movie. Interesting twist. I would say if you feel like if you just want to like do a good matinee, it's worth a matinee and some popcorn. It's fun, it's entertaining. If you want to get primed for Endgame, like that's the only thing. I'm just so ready. I'm so ready for Endgame. Like if I die before Endgame and like I end up
life won't be complete.
I will turn into a vengeful spirit. Oh, okay. This I will. So this is not spoiling anything in the story, but this I will spoil. They fucking broke me at the start because the new Marvel opening, instead of being comic pages or scenes from the movies, it was all the cameos of Stan Lee.
Oh.
I kept yeah, like, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me?
I'm gonna cry so hard. I didn't expect to cry when he died, but for anybody who doesn't know me personally, I knew him personally. And I got a phone call actually about him dying, and before it hit the internet. And then, so all of a sudden, we all started, the handlers all started calling each other, and then the internet blew up. And then I started seeing people post some of them were, really tender reviews, and then some of them were people, blasting him for...
I can't remember who it was, but someone, took a swing at... Oh, it was Bill Maher. Took a swing at Stan Lee, and it was like, you shut your fucking mouth, Bill Maher.
And I know a lot of
everyone was
details,
whoa.
A lot of that stuff that people are throwing swings at, I know a lot of personal details about, which is not my place to stay on a podcast. But
yeah, you don't have to.
People are doing that on my page, and I'm like, don't you dare! I am not. This is a man. Oh, the last time I saw him was actually at C2E2 last year, which is the shirt I'm wearing right now. C2E2 last year, I was working with. Now all of a sudden I can't think of his name. It was another. It was Dark Horse comic writer. Frank Miller. I was working with Frank Miller, and Janet was working with Stan Lee, and we had a bunch of panels together, and we actually were heading to our panel. We were 5 minutes late. We were panicked. We got there. Stan was refusing to be in his chair, and so he was walking, which is why we were late. And he's like, I need exercise. And Janet's like, you've already done all your walking. And he's like, I need exercise. And we get there, and we found out that the projector had lit on fire and was dripping plastic onto somebody in the audience.
That's unfortunate.
Oh no.
I took a picture, put it on my Instagram, and put when we tell people that we're putting out fires, we don't mean literal ones. And so they pull this guy, they pull everybody in the audience up to the stage so that they can bring in this forklift to replace the projector. They don't reimburse him anything. They just bring him up. All I know is I'm standing on the stage watching this happen, and I hear "Miss," and I was like, "Yeah," and I look down, and he's got this melted plastic all the way down his shirt. He's like, "Do you have a towel back there or something?" You paper towels or something?
You, huh?
And I was like, "1 second." So I ran back with bottle of water and paper towels, and I was like, "That's all I got." He's like, "It's cool. It's cool." And so we just sat back there for a half hour while they replaced this projector so that they could have their panel. And then we sat there waiting. They still kept the panel on time.
You're saying Stan was there though for the panel, right?
Yeah.
I would take melted plastic to the shoulder and no form of compensation to just see Stan. Did they move him forward or back?
Stan wasn't on stage yet. We were backstage.
Well, I meant that melted plastic.
No, he didn't. They put him right back in the right same seat. So it was in the middle of the room.
I mean, I would say that would probably be the most secure spot for emergencies at that point, because you know it's not going to happen twice.
It was in the middle of the room, and he was like, "It's cool, whatever."
Stan's coming. I'm here. We're good.
So it was me, Stan, Frank, Janet, and then their 2 PR people. We were all just hanging out for a half hour waiting for this projector to get replaced. But that was the last time that I really got to spend time with them. That was a year ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they fucking break you. And then his cameo, I won't say a word about. I won't tell you what his cameo is, but I will say it's up there in my favorite cameos ever. It might be the best. I do like his cameo in this movie. It's fucking solid.
That's for the Marvel movies?
Yeah.
My favorite's still your favorite, but...
Which one's that?
The Spider-Man one.
Which Spider-Man one?
The animated Spider-Man one.
Is that... So the new animated movie?
No. The 90s. When we talked
about
it
yeah,
before.
when he shows up. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay. I do really enjoy that one. This one's really, really good for the Marvel movies. It's stuck though because one of my favorites is when he's like chilling out with Deadpool or when he's in Deadpool and they have him in the strip club and he's like, next up Candy. Like, that was just because it was a shock and surprise.
Well, he did do stripper
so true.
It was that was fantastic, but I really like when he's hammered drunk in Age of Ultron. That's another really good one.
That's a good one.
But this one's really really good. Like it's smart, it's well written. It's a good movie. Go see it if you get a chance. Like I liked it.
I'm trying to think of all another chance before. Hopefully I'll see it. I'll try to see it.
It's playing in like 2 theaters in Grinnell right now, so like
I'll probably have to see it somewhere else.
Which, it's a good movie. I'm not sure it's worth 2 theaters. I actually watched it in 2D. I've just elected not to watch any more Marvel movies in 3D. I just don't think it's...
Yeah.
3D just gives me a headache most of the time, but that's because my eyesight's just so bad.
Well, it just hasn't done anything for me. I'll tell for the first like 2 or 3 seconds that it's 3D, and then after that I've stopped realizing it. I think Alita Battle Angel did a good job keeping it 3D.
I've had them at a few conventions now, and they were popular before it came out, but I don't know how.
It's definitely a 3-hour James Cameron movie packed into 2 hours. It's really entertaining. It's fucking cool. However, it is way too rushed. Like, there's way too much going on in 2 hours.
I have a really cool autograph from that I got from Crunchyroll last year. Nice. But I had no idea what it was. They were just like, here you go. And I was like, okay.
And I have no objections to that movie. Like, I think if they had made it 3 hours, I would have been just fine. I think that movie would have been good. I would not have complained because I enjoyed the whole thing. I just think that they pushed too much into a 2-hour time span. And when it came to the end, you were like, what? They definitely have plans to make more. I don't know why. I think this could have just been a good 3-hour movie. Or 2 2-hour movies. No. What?
They did not know how well it was going to do. As somebody who spoke to their head people, they actually had no clue.
Oh, I fully understand. Like, they would have had no idea. Like, you could tell it's one of those movies where it was like they were playing it like a little close to the chest.
Yeah.
It was good.
When they showed up for Crunchyroll, they weren't announced. It was a last minute thing, but we sold out on their autographs. Like
Casting
they sold
was
out
smart.
like we were selling. They were free.
Well, I guess it's a manga and an animated series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an anime.
So I'm half interested to go and see the anime. I don't know though, because I kind of just want to wait for the next movie to come out. They've got the girl who was like the secondary girl in the Maze Runner series as the lead, and I didn't notice. Rewatching, so I watched the 3rd Maze Runner the other day, and I'm like, that's Alita. That's how she plays now. She's now Alita Battle Angel. She did a fantastic job, but every time I see her as a person now, I'm like, her eyes are wrong. Because she needs those weird anime eyes to make it work. I enjoyed it. Christoph Waltz was cool in that movie. Ed Norton was awkwardly shoved into that movie. No point. No point. They should have cast some hokey over the top guy. I don't know why people spend money on Ed Norton. I like him. Sometimes he's in movies where they wasted money on him. Like is it the Fallen Kingdom, or what's that movie with Orlando Bloom that he plays the leper that you literally don't see his face at all?
Sorry, you said Orlando Bloom, and that reminded me of guess what started this week.
What started this week?
American Gods.
Oh, yeah. Is he in that?
He is.
Yeah.
He plays my favorite character.
I haven't seen any of American Gods yet.
Season 2 started, and it's the best episode. It's literally all season 1. I was waiting for the House on the Rock. What is it? Is that what that's called?
House on the Rock, yeah.
House on the Rock, yeah. I was waiting for the House on the Rock, and then the season ended, and they didn't get there, and I was so livid. Yeah, first episode. We get, literally, it's the name of the episode, and I'm like... And the whole episode, I was like, that's exactly how they described it in the book. That's exactly how they described it in the book. That's exactly how... Devin's just like, honey, it's okay. It's okay.
Don't spoil this for me. I have to be excited.
You can calm down now.
My wife has this habit of, I don't watch anything I really, really want to watch with her because she has a habit of like talking over the major exposition. Like she'd be like, "So today," and I'm like, "Jesus Christ, what are you doing?" She's like, "What? What? I'm trying to have a conversation with you," and I'm like, "You have the worst timing every time."
So American Gods is one of my favorite books, and Good Omens is another one of my favorite books that's also about to be a show starting in May.
Did you watch the trailer?
I did.
I was gonna send it to
God.
you. It looks really fun.
So I told Devin like the whole premise of the show, and he's like, they did not explain that in the trailer at all, like whatsoever. Like the trailer does not in any way do justice.
I know it didn't sound much like the description that you had given me.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited to see because after what you told me, it makes it even more awesome looking. However, I do enjoy. You can already tell David Tennant and what's his name?
Michael Sheen, I think.
Michael Sheen. Yeah, Michael Sheen and David Tennant have an excellent rapport. Like they play off each other so well. There's a part where like they look at each other at the end of the trailer, and one of them says "to the end," and the other one like also looks back and just in the sweetest way. I think it was Michael Sheen looks back and goes "to the end," and I was like. I don't even care. Like, I want to watch the show.
We had them, they did their very first trailer at New York Comic Con and all that, and we had them then, and they like handed out a bunch of like books that was there's one of the big parts of the book is the nice and accurate prophecies of Agus Nutters, and it's nice and accurate, and nice is like supposed to be another word for accurate, apparently, in English language, and so it's like they handed out a bunch of notebooks. Like everybody that came in, they got pins, they got books, they got. I was just like, I'll take all of it.
Yeah. Bring that over here.
Like, oh, they got posters. They were handing out so much swag.
Nice.
At Comic-Con, it was so cool.
I forgot about that. I was gonna I was gonna message you almost immediately.
May 31st.
May 31st. Okay.
I already have a viewing party set up and everything. My poly family, somebody in my poly family is like already set up. They're like, let's do this as like a big thing. We're going to be doing a big.
I'm excited to see that. I heard there was a trailer for season 2 of Tick out and I haven't seen it yet. But Amazon's killing it.
Season 2? Season 2 is already out.
No, that was part 2 of season 1. Yeah, they break it up, which is ticking me off. Yeah, it drives me nuts.
That makes a lot more sense.
I'll say April.
Because I thought it was kind of weird.
The guy wants to battle, like the creator wants to battle this idea of binge watching, and I'm like, stop it. Know your platform. Know your platform, sir. Because there's
the benevolence James can do whatever he wants, I guess.
Yeah.
As long as he keeps making it.
I dig the crap out of everything Amazon's doing right now.
Yeah, they've got a lot of good stuff.
They really do. It's hard. It's hard to get back into that stuff. But like I said earlier, I've been binging Black Mirror. Have you watched Black Mirror?
I have not, but I've heard really good things.
Oh my gosh!
Did you see the Christmas one?
Yes, the Christmas one was amazing. Isn't it called like Christmas Cookie or something like that? Or they're talking about so if to our listeners, if you haven't seen Black Mirror, essentially it is the Twilight Zone focusing on technology and its negative impact on people. So they're really and they have amazing actors in every episode.
John Hamm was in the Christmas one.
Yeah, John Hamm was in the Christmas one. The Christmas one's like a movie. It's like movie length, and it's like there's a lot to do. Like some of the technology they have is like there's this one that's like it goes so your eyes, they can play things over your eyes, and there's like an implant in your brain, so like they can kind of manipulate whatever you see and how you contact with people, and then they can manipulate your memories. They can even pull, like, they can download a digital consciousness of your brain and put it into a thing, and imprison you in that thing, which is terrifying. There's, like, they made a life model decoy in one episode. There's so, and every episode just gets better and better in how they play it off. I watched Nosedive last night, which is one about social media. So anytime you have an interaction with someone, you can rate that interaction, and your overall score is based off of that.
Is that the one where, like, how your overall score allows like what you can do in public.
Yeah.
Did you hear China is actually
So
implementing something to that effect?
yeah,
no
we
idea
had
about
that discussion last week actually with Drizzt. Like he was bringing that up and he was ranting about it, and he's like, "Did you see Nosedive?" And I was like, "No." And I was like, even if I did, I don't know if I would know that episode by name because he knows every episode name of everything. Like, just talk Supernatural with him and he will know. I'd be like, you remember that episode when he goes, this is the name of that episode? And I'm like, why?
Oh my god, there's so much Supernatural. That's what Devin and I have been binge watching lately.
Have you seen
We're
any
like-
of the new season? I have
We're on
not.
season 9. There's
Oh, God.
15 seasons.
Isn't that, like, I think that one's my least favorite season.
I will never get into that show.
Is that the Leviathan one?
No.
The Leviathan
That was
season?
season 6. We're past that. We are way past Leviathan.
Okay, the Leviathan season is fucking garbage.
It is garbage.
When they're like, "Rah!" and they turn into testicle heads.
Yeah. Yeah, I was told that there was like 3 seasons we had to get past. No, we're on the angel season now, the one where the angels have all been like, you're stuck on Earth. Like, you're
Oh,
all
yeah.
kicked out of heaven.
Oh, so you're going to get to, what's his name? He's the scribe of God.
Metatron?
Metatron.
No, that was last season.
Are you serious?
Metatron's the one that kicked him out.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Metatron?
We're past that.
Yeah, the guy
Like
who
a
plays
Decepticon
Metatron
or something?
is...
Metatron's actually in the Bible. That is an actual... He's the scribe of God.
He's the...
I like the
he's
fact that they
played by
really do
Booger.
keep the character. I like the fact that they keep the names of
Yeah, they do.
the Bible. Like, they really do their research. Religious research.
He's played by is it Booger in Revenge of the Nerds, or he plays a character named Booger somewhere.
Yeah.
And he's, oh my god, he's so good as Metatron though. Like he kicked ass. No, this most recent season for some reason, and I don't know why and I don't know how, but they brought back Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
I saw an article that they were doing that.
And I'm like, I need to watch this, but I
Which
haven't.
is proof that in the
watched
show,
any of
in
the season.
Supernatural, no one dies. No one.
Well, so
Literally.
Like Dragon Ball?
Yeah,
So-
it's exactly like Dragon Ball.
yeah.
There is no such thing as death in Supernatural.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they bring back Bobby. Well, this. I can't. I'm not going to go into spoilers.
I really don't care about Supernatural spoilers
Oh,
because
okay,
at this
so-
point,
Yeah,
Last
I'm never
season,
gonna watch that many
instead
seasons.
of-
22 episodes per season, and there's
Yeah.
15 seasons.
Too many episodes.
That's too much for me.
Last season, they brought back. They brought back all the characters that have died, but instead of being like brought back to life, they do an alternate Doom dimension where angels have taken over the planet and are murdering everyone, and they are the freedom fighters in that Doom dimension. Are all the side characters.
So there's this
It played so terrible. By the way, it was so bad.
there's these twins on YouTube that do parodies, and they do some pretty fantastic parodies, and they're called Hillywood. It's like Hillywood Productions or something like that. And they have one that's a supernatural one that to Shake It Off. To Taylor Swift's Shake It Off. And it's Dean. It's like, I've got the mark of Cain, shake it off.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they bring in a character, they actually bring in an actor from Supernatural and as to play Sam while she plays Dean. And they do a fantastic job. And I saw that video way before I ever saw Supernatural. And so this whole time I've been watching Supernatural, I'm like, when the fuck does this video make any sense? And at this point now, I feel like I'm binge watching this show just so that parody makes sense to me. And I've been told that season 9 is when it's finally going to make sense.
Mark of Cain. I mean, there's a Mark of Cain season. Which
Yeah, that's
is,
season 9, which is apparently what I'm on now.
Which is, I mean, it's all right. Well, it's really frustrating because they introduced this idea of Dean as a demon, and you're like, yes. And then they shed it very quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
The parody
As they
is
do.
fantastic.
the show, God damn it, the show can come up with these really brilliant concepts, but for some reason they can't hang on to a concept for the life of them. They find the stupidest shit to focus on for an entire season.
I like how many times they'll be like very, very consistent with certain ideas and then completely non-consistent with others.
Yeah.
like how they kill certain types of ghosts. They're like very consistent all show, and then in other ways they're like, no, we didn't feel like continuing that one.
Yeah, man. Schmeh. I could rant for days about Supernatural because that show can be really, really good, and it can also be really, really stupid in a lot of ways. Like, they're just... And I accept this BS of, like, you know, Sam, Dean, Sam, Dean, like that. Like, it's soap opera-y. I get it. It's the CW. This is where it's like, that's part of it being its home. However, the shit that they focus on this show, when they throw away concept ideas, like, why did they have to focus on Doom Planet alternate universe people for an entire season? It was stupid.
My favorite is how often they have episodes where they make fun of their fandom. So, for example, their prophet of the Lord, who has like prophecies of what's happening, is a science fiction writer who writes books called Supernatural, where they're writing literally about the characters. And they have fanfic where the brothers are like lovers, and the brothers find the fanfic and they're like, they know we're related, right? Or they have, apparently later in the show, they find fanfic of Castiel as this angel that's like a main character that's like their best friend, and apparently like Castiel and Dean have fanfic.
Dean is like, absolutely not.
I heard there's an episode where Dean and Castiel get married because somebody like wrote a fanfic about it and it comes true or something like that.
I don't remember that one, but I might have missed over it.
I saw pictures.
And maybe it was this season. It might have been this, because I haven't watched a single episode this season.
I saw a picture of it, but I have not.
So Supernatural is my favorite thing to like binge out over summer when I've watched everything else, but I haven't watched Arrow or Flash. Speaking of, Arrow's ending next year.
There's a lot of things ending.
They're ending it like... They're doing an 8-episode arc, and Stephen Amell did like a huge like thing where he was like crying and like announcing that he was done. Like he was like, ooh.
It's like his whole life.
Yeah, well, that's what made him. I keep laughing though. I was rewatching New Girl, and he's in like the first season, like pre-Arrow, and it's hysterical. Like not Arrow Stephen Amell on any level. But I have a theory. So they're doing Crisis on Infinite Earths next year for their big crossover. And I'm kind of wondering, normally when they do that, that's around the 8-episode like mark, and they're doing 8 episodes of Arrow to end the series. So I wonder if that is going to be the end mark of Arrow, because in the last crossover they had, which leads up to Infinite Earths, he makes a deal with this guy, and no one knows what the deal is, but they say you have to give something up. And so I wonder if, like, at the end of Infinite Earths, that's where Arrow dies, and that's what he gives up. I didn't believe it before. I didn't want to believe it, because I'm like, this is their, like, of the CW universe, this is their, like, main title. Like, everything surrounds Arrow. But now that they're going to end Arrow, I'm like, I bet he's going to die at the end of that.
A crisis implies sacrifice.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of sacrifices in all those crises.
Yeah.
In the DC.
So I'm guessing Arrow's dead. I don't think Flash will be dead. Flash is their new tentpole title. Like, they've even stated, like, Flash has outdone Arrow by, like, 100%. Right now, viewership-wise, just overall support. Everyone loves Flash more. I don't really care. Like, I like watching all of them. However, I did lose a little more interest in Arrow and Supergirl over the last year than I did Flash.
Did you read Crisis on Infinite Earths?
No, I never read it.
Flash dies.
Yeah. Well, and he was supposed to, like, in the
Spoiler
end of this, so in the end of this, him and Supergirl, at the end of the last crossover, him and Supergirl, like, trying to, like, slow down the planet to give them enough time to stop this thing from happening. And it was supposed to kill both of them, and that's what Arrow was meeting with a guy that was like, he's like, they don't deserve to die. Yeah. And he said, well, you have to give something up.
They gotta trade 2 I mean...
Yeah, so he's like, you have to give something up, and at the end of it, and then after that, he pops out with a magic arrow and shoots this book with an arrow, and Deus Ex Machina is the whole thing. And they're like, what's the deal you made? And he never said what it was. So we're pretty sure the deal for Supergirl and Flash to survive because Flash is their main title. Supergirl's all up in the air right now. People.
Is he gonna do like community service or something like that?
What?
Is he gonna do like community service
Yeah,
or something like
he's
that?
gonna have to go pick up cans. That's why they're canceling the show.
Yeah.
He doesn't have enough time to film. He has to go out and pick up cans with his arrow. He has to do arrow by arrow, just stabbing a can. Put the arrow in the bag. Grab another arrow. Stab some cans. Oh, yeah,
Yep.
no. I forgot about that. That was another big announcement this week was they're like, they're canceling Arrow. And I was like,
I do want to watch that one. I'm never going to watch Supernatural, but I do kind of want to watch Arrow and Flash and Supergirl and all those.
So Flash apparently this season had an episode where it was Gorilla Grodd versus King Shark, which is two completely CGI characters.
Nice.
And I'm like, why the fuck haven't I been watching this season? Because that sounds epic.
Yep.
Like, that sounds fun. Arrow's just kind of boring now because, like, Flash is doing that shit in the side. And then you go back to Arrow and it's like, oh, this guy's taking over the city. I have to tell him that he failed the city and then stop him from taking over the city. Hey, guess what, guy? You failed the city. And that's it. Like, it's just, and it's not an interesting type of guy anymore. Like, he used to have, like, metahumans and stuff for a while, but now that the Flash is on, we can't have metahumans on the Flash. He's got to fight real people.
Yeah, they got to be different.
I have tried picking up all, like, the entire, like, that genre. The Supergirl, the Flash, the, what is it, the DC Legends of Tomorrow?
Yeah, Legends of Tomorrow.
I can't stand any of them.
You know what? If there's one to push through, it's Legends of Tomorrow. Their payoffs are crazy. That's where they're like, you know what? Fuck it. They throw the script in the air and do what they want.
So, like, when I visit my parents, like, keep up on all those shows. And so, like, I'll be there. They're like, oh, we're just going to watch our episode real quick. And I'll be watching. And I'm like, what the are you watching? Like... This is like so soap opera-ish. So...
Oh, well, that's CW. That's CW. I mean, if Sam and Dean were a chick and a guy and they weren't related, they'd be making out constantly.
Oh my god.
Sam! Dean!
The only thing that saves Supernatural is the episodes where they're making fun of themselves. If they didn't, like, because of how often they make fun of the show itself.
Yeah.
That's what saves the show.
So,
otherwise, like, I probably wouldn't continue following it.
So I have to, once again, spoil the ending of Season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow. Because
I don't know if I can watch it, go for it.
Just to tell, this is my pitch, right? Okay, so the entire season, they've got this shit with gemstones where they give each person a different power. So, like, one of the main characters has wind. The other one has, like, animal spirits.
Heart.
She can, like, yeah. So then they get the funniest guy, who's played by Dominic, I can't remember his name. Might be Purcell or something. No, that might be a real person. He's played by the guy from Prison Break, the really big jacked dude. And he's also in Blade Trinity as Dracula. He's the funniest, though. He plays the Pyro Firestarter, and he's just got shit to say. He's like Mick Rory. He gets the Firestone. And they get all the stones handed out. And at the end of the thing, like, so they essentially summon a demon who's played by the main scientist guy in Fringe, whose name I can't remember, John Noble. I think John Noble's right. So he's a demon that's been released, and so what they have to do is they have to hold hands and summon an avatar that essentially becomes fucking Tron to, like, grow and then fight the demon. But what happens is one of them gets distracted, which then distracts all of them. So the avatar that is created is this stuffed animal from the beginning of the season that gets dropped off. So imagine, like, Tickle Me Elmo or something, but it's called Bebo. It's like, Bebo loves you. It's like a little blue stuffed animal.
Like Ghostbusters or something?
It gets dropped off. There is a joke there, too. But it gets dropped off in, like, Viking era, like Leif Erikson. And so Leif Erikson and his family start worshiping it. And that becomes, like, it replaces Christianity completely. This Beboism is religion. So So the way they could tell the timeline is fucked up is like, you don't remember Bebo Miss? Like, fuck, it's Christmas. And so they fixed that problem. But Bebo keeps like reoccurring. And so one of them thinks about Bebo. So this giant stuffed animal totem becomes a thing. And then fucking suplexes grabs the demon and boom, suplexes it. That is the end of the season, is he suplexes the demon into, like, back to hell.
Yeah,
it's played by, John Noble plays the demon. Fucking, all these side superhero characters, including White Canary, is in this, all but they're totally, like, our powers combined. And then it's like, Bebo! I lost my shit. I was like, I don't give a fuck, anymore. People can say whatever they want about everything, all of the build-up, all of it, payoff to the max. He suplexed a demon, a stuffed animal, a big-ass blue Tickle Me Elmo, suplexed a demon. How is this not top-rated TV anymore? This is...
Yeah, I'll have to check that one out.
That shit, that is not... I couldn't have imagined that I was going to be watching that when I was,
what season
10
was that?
years old, watching season 2, I think.
Season 2? Okay.
Is either season 2 or season 3. I'm pretty sure it's 2. Because it has Kid Flash. It has Kid Flash in there. It has fucking, the Atom, who is essentially Ant-Man. Mm-hmm. But in this, he's essentially Iron Man because he's got his big old... And it's played by the guy who played Superman in Superman Returns. He's an Iowan. I can't remember his name right now. Brandon Routh. Yeah. Brandon Routh's in this. And shit happens. It's amazing. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen. And here I am, flashing back to little old me watching Biker Mice from Mars, losing my shit there. And I'm like, no way something that crazy is going to happen in live action. Yeah. Someone funded this. It was amazing.
I would fund it.
Okay, the episodes I have seen, nothing of that.
Oh my God.
Said, the episodes, I've seen 2 episodes and I was like, you're entertained by this?
It can be
so
real
awful.
It can be real bad. It can also be real good. I love because Sarah, the main character, is anybody. Same thing with they run into Constantine in there, and Constantine will fuck anything with legs, and so they have a great hookup, and then they both just mutually part ways. They're just done. That type of shit's really entertaining. John Constantine in there, who's played by the guy who plays Constantine in the NBC show, who also played Kenway in Black Flag. Amazing. Just every time you think it's going to be a terrible show, it gets a better show. Surprisingly, the worst shows are the one that surround Brandon Routh. Brandon Routh is not there's something about his character that's just not great. I don't know. It just doesn't work. And then there's another guy that if they could just kill him off, I'd be so happy. His name's Citizen Steel. In the comics, the guy who plays him's absolute garbage. And I can't remember where I've seen him before. If it was 90210 or something. But he is absolute garbage. It is the worst thing. They have a relationship between him and another girl, the spirit girl. The one with the spirit animals. I just don't care. But then to get to the end, the fact that I trudged through 2 seasons of that to see a stuffed animal suplex a demon into hell is worth every second.
Made.
It was worth every second. I don't even care.
It's the same way of Supernatural. It's so many bad episodes to see.
So you get Scooby Natural, which is really entertaining.
I have heard of that one.
You get the Supernatural.
They turn into a Scooby-Doo episode, a literal Scooby-Doo episode.
Wow.
Dean and Daphne. That was hilarious, but creepy at the same time. And then you get Supernatural the musical, which was really, really good. You're talking about with the fan conventions.
The fan conventions. I liked the one where they came into the real world and they played themselves.
Oh yeah.
everybody was calling them by their real names, and they're like, "I'm sorry, my name is what?"
Yeah.
Like Jensen Ackles, and what's the other one's name? Jared Padalecki.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell kind of name is Padalecki?
It's incredibly entertaining. They have some really good episodes in there, and then the monster. I really enjoy Monster of the Week episodes. I don't think they do enough of that. Sometimes I think they focus too much on an overarching theme. Because whenever they do ghost episodes are the best.
I mean, if you think about it, we've done so many ghosts. This is 22 times 15. How many ghosts do we have left?
I'm in this season, like this last season that I watched, there was a really cool episode that I don't think it was the best ghost episode, but it reinvigorated my faith in their ability to write scary stories. It was like these kids. Oh yeah, they go into an insane asylum where there was this creepy doctor, and he would wear those like plague masks, and they steal one. And what happens is the plague mask is haunted, and it gets the kids to put them on, and then the kids get brought back, and then they get murdered by that insane asylum doctor. So they have to save the next kid or something like that from that. And they have to kill the plague doctor, which was super creepy and super great. Like, I loved it. And I loved there was like an insane asylum one where they broke into an insane asylum one episode, and like the key to solving the big mystery and stopping everything from happening was Sam had to like actually listen to the ghost. Like, she had something to say. And I was like, this is
There's
brilliant.
been a few of those, yeah.
Yeah, they're really good things. And then they go back to like, let's focus on the devil for an entire season. And I'm like, wait, by the way, Lucifer, the guy who plays Lucifer is great. I will say that. He's great.
I was going to say, Lucifer was only in, what, like one season?
Oh, he'll be back.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's in a lot of stuff, and he's really good.
Okay.
Like, he is good.
I am still
the
in
explanation is good.
I'm still in the Crosby, not all of a sudden now I can't.
Crowley.
Crowley,
There we go.
thank you.
Crowley's great, too.
Which is another actor I know personally and all that. So, like, for me, this is a very, like, I know him in a totally different setting. And so it's he's that guy that, like, my very, very first airport pickup ever was a failed attempt, and that was him.
Oh, dear.
I was 15.
Oh, no.
It went badly. It went very badly. And I got
Oh,
yelled
dear.
at very hard.
Oh.
And as an adult
no.
now who's been doing this job for 15 years, I'm like, I got this. But as a 15-year-old, I cried so hard.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
That's too bad.
Oh, yeah, I get you.
And so, like, he is forever, like, stained as my botched airport run.
Did you guys watch the new, not the teaser that stings Will Smith as the genie at the end, but did
One
you
that
see
just
the
dropped
full
yesterday?
trailer?
Yeah, I saw
Yes.
it. It looks a lot better than the second
It
season.
was so good.
Looked a lot better.
Once they started singing a whole
still
new
not
world,
into-
I lost
I
my
cried.
shit.
I'm still not into
Yeah,
Jafar,
we'll tear.
but
I'd say
Well, I agree. I'm not a big fan of Jafar.
the rest of it looks...
I want to see more of him until I make a decision.
Yeah. Well, I'll see the movie first
But
before
oh my god, the
concretely-
costuming and the fact that they showed full on Bollywood like dancing, like they're really making a point of doing a really good job with this. I feel like.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I was reading someone was kind of upset about like, because Jasmine's not Arabic, she's not an Arabic actress, but from what I read,
If I remember correctly, she's half.
I don't think so. I think she's
She's half something.
Asian. I think she's like
She's a mix of...
I can't remember.
She might be half. I think that might be accurate.
Okay.
She's half
But
something.
people are upset about it, and I'm like, here's the thing. Like they said in casting, like there was no one better. Like if they had a better actress who was full on Arabic, they would have cast her, but they didn't.
Right.
And they're like, would you rather the movie suffer? And that's my thing. Like, I would rather have a better movie that's like slightly inaccurate.
Well, you know, she would be Arabic, like in the stories, because they're like, there's like a midpoint between a number of nations. It was like involved China and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Well, and the thing about Agrabah is it's a fictional place too. Like,
And it's fictional.
I know it's based off
She's
of a
British.
specific area, but
Yeah, she's half something.
She's British. That's why.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
But she's she's a great actress. She was probably the best part of the Power Rangers movie because she played the Yellow Ranger.
Her mother is Uganda-born Indian.
Right. Okay, so they're upset about her being Indian as opposed to Arabic. Which, again, if she can do a better job than other actresses, I mean...
Google Fu.
Well, I mean, Aladdin was like a surfer dude in the 90s, so...
Well, and that was my other point. It was Steve from Full House. That's who played Aladdin.
Come on, Carver, let's move!
Your gripe is still, like, maybe a little founded, but understand how far we fucking come.
They're making an attempt. They're trying.
I saw that Wash was playing Iago.
Yeah, so the guy who plays Wash, is it Tudyk?
Tudyk.
Tudyk is going to play Iago.
And I mean,
commented, there's already a leaf on the wind, so, I mean, it kind of makes sense.
You know he played Hey Hey in Moana, right? The chicken.
Oh, the chicken. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he played
the chicken.
The fact that he, like, was down for just voicing a chicken. What was it?
When I heard that, I, like, went to watch the movie thinking that there would be multiple... No, he really just, like, squawked, like, 3 times. And that was...
Nice.
They hired him. He's at this point now a professional voice actor.
Yeah. He did great on The Tick.
So I don't know how I feel about, like... the departure from Gilbert Gottfried over to Iago, but I mean the best damned attempt they can have is him.
Yeah, so I mean, he's a fantastic voice actor.
Yeah.
Well, I figured they could at least like Mufasa it, like the new Aladdin movie or the new Lion King movie is gonna have just James Earl Jones play Mufasa again.
Well, they got.
They could have just had Gilbert Gottfried come back. He's not ill.
Well, they got Frank Welker to play. What is it? The Cave of Wonders voice and Abu and that guy who does all those voices. They got him to do all that.
So why not have him play? I don't know. Either way, good casting though. I thought that was some good ass casting.
Godfrey might clash with the tone
I'm
they're
still
trying to make.
stuck on like costuming is just.
It looked pretty great.
Oh my god!
It looks good. Will Smith looks good. I know a lot of people didn't like that one stinger, but I thought that was fine. I didn't care.
I mean, he's not... He's not going to be... This is the best we've got. Like, of all the people that we have in the world to play Genie, I think Will Smith is really the best we've got. I think he's a fantastic pick.
He's charismatic.
He's charismatic.
I mean, again, like never gonna be up to the caliber of Robin Williams, but damn good attempt. Like, I mean, what more other than like resurrection do you want? And look, I've seen Disney's attempt to bring the dead back to life, and it creeps the fuck out of me.
Jesus.
What was his name?
Man.
The guy from Rogue One. Is it Admiral Tarkin, or is he? It's the trap guy. I can't remember.
Peter Cushing or something like that.
Yeah, they brought a guy back in Rogue One, and it did not work. Like, for me at all.
It didn't. I was like, oh, man. He is... I mean, the closer you get to real, but not real, is like the creepier it gets.
I guess practice makes perfect, though. Like, if you've seen Sam Jackson in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I heard they did amazing work.
Not a second of that movie, and they did an entire movie with him. Not a second of that movie did I question it.
Yeah.
Phil Coulson, however, and I think that's what makes the difference is like Caucasian to African American. I think African American might be a little bit easier because Phil Coulson looked plastic as shit. Like he looked like Buzz Lightyear from like an updated like Toy Story movie. Like he has that very plasticky.
Have either of you guys seen the Aladdin like Broadway style
I
production?
have. I know people appreciate the Genie there. I will be honest, I fucking hated it. I hated it.
I've gotten to see it twice now. Half of it's improv.
I guess it's just maybe the Genie reminds me of CeeLo Green, and that drives me even more nuts. But it just, I was not. My wife was like, because I felt so bad because it was my birthday surprise. She was like, surprise, I brought you to Aladdin. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And we watched it, and she was like, how was it? And I was like, it was good.
Maybe they should just get Barbara Eden to play.
She goes, that genie's so funny. I'm like, that genie was terrible.
I liked one. I didn't like the other. It's one of the things that I liked about it was the fact that it was completely, and that was actually I didn't realize 100% the first time around was the fact that it was flat out improv. I saw one of them in California and one of them in New York, and it was a totally different show as far as the genie was concerned.
Interesting.
We watched it in Minneapolis.
just, like-
I just wasn't. I don't know. Like, and this idea of like. And you have to do it for theater, but like putting blue clothes on someone, I was like, I don't
know. Blue
That's
works
what I
when
was
you
worried about.
rhinestone it all to hell.
That's what I was worried about with the movie when they first showed Will Smith. Was like he was just in blue clothes, and I was like, I was one of the people that complained about that, but I'm not one of the people that complained about him wearing blue in the, like, or him being blue. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't mind it. Like that Stinger trailer, a lot of people hated it. I was like, he's blue.
I didn't think it looked good, but I mean, it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
Honestly, Jafar has been like the weakest
that's
link.
the first valid complaint I've heard is like Jafar's not.
It's not Jafar. It's he looks too good to be Jafar.
Yeah, he's like my age. I mean,
well, not only does he look too good, like his voice is in no way.
It sounds like he's kind of trying to be sinister, but I mean,
like,
it feels
and that's the
forced.
problem of having incredible voice actors like Jeremy Irons or this guy, or like the guy who played Jafar in the actual like animated film. Like they have very good imposing voices. You don't know what they look like, but damn, their voices like carried through. So to know like the new Lion King and this new Aladdin aren't going to have those voices is kind of saddening.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about the new Lion King yet. Like it's just a fancier old Lion King. Like
if they don't do anything
I mean,
new,
at least with the Jungle Book, they had a real live actor. Then with everything at like CGI'd. With the new Lion King, it's just gonna be much prettier.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
What about this is a live action Lion King?
Yeah, I mean it's gonna look realistic as hell, but honestly, I don't know. The only thing that like I enjoy is the fact that some of the casting is dead on.
Yeah.
So Donald Glover is adult Simba is really, really good choice. I like that they're keeping the cast of the lions mainly African American.
100% agreed there.
The characters that they had, like, so Timon and Pumbaa, they've got Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner in there, and I'm like, that is the most dead on you can do as far as Hollywood full out, like blown out you can pick. They picked, so Zazu was played by Mr. Bean in the original, and now they're gonna have John Oliver play him. I'm like, how the fuck can you get more perfect than that? And then I was like, who's gonna play Mufasa?
And of course,
James Earl Jones again. And I was like, okay.
I mean, you can't beat James Earl Jones. So
I tried in my head to argue. I went. And I was like, nah. The only weakness there, and again, it's like Jafar, and now this is Scar, the guy who's playing Scar, who's a very talented actor. He played not really the bad guy, like the best friend who's now going to be the bad guy to Doctor Strange. He also played the main bad guy in Serenity, I believe. He's a really good actor. Not Jeremy Irons. Like, not going to have that presence in the voice. So I don't know. And I think they really kind of like blew their shot early, because I think the only other African-American actor that would have been fantastic as Scar.
I like how you like dropped your voice there.
Yeah. Well, so my voice is not. It's losing right now. But the only other actor would have been Idris Elba, who has already been who played Shere Khan. And he's perfect as Shere Khan as well. But now it's just it would have been too on the nose to have him play a cat character, like a feline
they're
villain
too similar.
twice.
Yeah.
So, but I still think he would have been the best Scar.
Yeah.
Like, he would have been so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I was looking at other news. So Gearbox is teasing a Borderlands announcement for PAX East, which is coming up at the end of the month. People are hoping it's Borderlands 3. All they did was they put up a picture of a billboard that would have been in Borderlands with the Borderlands background, and it had the date of PAX East, which is like March something or other, written on it.
I think it's the same weekend as C2E2, actually, so I think it's the last weekend.
What's that?
I think it's either the last weekend of March or it's the weekend right before, because Reed is usually divided that weekend in half.
So I'm interested to see if it's a Borderlands. It better be a Borderlands 3 announcement, because if it's not, they're going to be really pissed off people. The only thing that would make me equally happy is if they ended up doing a Switch, like a Switch port of the Handsome Collection, because I'd be fine with that.
I'd get that.
Like, they haven't done it yet, but people are like, oh, they need to stop porting. I'm like, no, you got to understand. Like, you got to understand the power of the Switch.
Yeah, I give it a shot. I'm
You
terrible.
can play it on
games
your
like that,
TV or mobile. Like,
Yeah.
you can do both on the same console. Like, it's not even like the Vita where you could, like, transfer your save back and forth.
seamlessly.
You can do it anywhere. I'm like, that is worth... People were pissed off about the Resident Evil games are like $10 more on the Switch when they come out in like May, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's called the Switch tax. Like, you can
Switch
it's an
tax.
extra $10 to play it anywhere you want or on your TV. Like, I'm just saying, if you want to play Resident Evil on the toilet, so you're already shitting, you know, do it. So that's been a big thing. I'm a huge, like, this. I support the Switch so much.
I've been playing regular Nintendo lately. I beat Super C yesterday.
You beat what?
Super C, Contra.
Oh,
Contra
okay. Oh, Marvel Comics. They're gonna be they're gonna be doing a TV series, probably on that Disney streaming service, but they're gonna do a Marvel What Ifs series.
That'd be nice.
So all that. So there's like, I mean, some of the examples like, what if the Hulk and Bruce Banner had the same brain, which I'm pretty sure is gonna be Endgame. What if Thor was a woman? What if Dr. Doom was a good guy? So they're going to make an animated show about that.
Nice.
I'm highly interested. I'm down for it.
Hopefully they release a Blu-ray at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm not getting that streaming service.
They probably will. It'll be a lot like Hulk versus when they did that for a while. That was really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I miss them doing that stuff, like making random animated stuff for me to watch.
I did like Hulk versus.
I'm curious about how much the streaming service is going to be. I watch so much Disney that I might spring for it, but I also own so many Disney movies that I don't know. Like, I've got the Disney Movie Club, so I like actually.
But wouldn't it be so easy to just turn it on and hit play rather than get up, walk across the room, open the DVD case?
Yeah, but I like doing
It's
that.
it's the problem of like
I don't.
justifying spending that much per month when I already own it on the wall over there.
Yeah.
But what if they, like, Casey, here's my deal. It's like, if they start putting Disney Channel original movies on there, that's when they've sold me.
Like
What?
Brain.
Did they say that?
If
I don't know if they have
they
or
do.
not. They haven't confirmed anything, but I'm just saying, like,
I'd be sold.
I'm talking like Luck of the Irish. I haven't seen that yet. St. Patty's Day is Sunday. Luck of the Irish. What is the other? There's a couple other holiday themed ones that I watch all the time. There's that mermaid one where the boy turns into a merman.
Oh my god, I remember that. Yeah, all of the 90 like Disney movie I would.
Over the top, like the one, like the Lawrence Brothers one. There's one where all the Lawrence Brothers are in that, which I had to explain to people who the Lawrence Brothers are. I'm like, Joey Lawrence, whoa. They're like,
Yep.
yeah, I got nothing. I'm like,
no one from Boy Meets World.
Halo Master Chief Collection is coming to PC now. I didn't know it wasn't.
I was gonna say I thought it was. I thought that was part of.
Apparently not. Like, it's going to be sold on Steam. And then they're also
Goddamn time, then.
adding Halo Reach to the collection with it. So all the Halo games plus Halo Reach.
I know what's coming on my Steam.
Yeah. that makes sense. Makes a lot of sense, actually. I was going to look up.
Devin's still been waiting. We haven't bought the second. My brain's addled. No.
It'll come back to you.
No.
It'll come back to me.
Nah.
That game that came out like a month ago that everybody was flipping out. I guess it was a couple months ago. Red Dead.
Red Dead.
Oh,
We haven't bought the second Red Dead because it's still not out for PC.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I have a PS4. And Devin's like, yeah, but we have a PC. And I'd rather play it on PC. And so he's still waiting. And I'm like...
it is worth every penny.
Yeah, you
Like,
finished it a few weeks ago, right?
I did. I actually have a friend who wanted to borrow it for Xbox One. and I loaned it to him to get it away from me. So I would fucking finish Skyrim, which I still haven't finished Skyrim, but I'm still working on GTA 5. And then going from Red Dead 2 to GTA 5 ruins GTA 5 a little bit for me, because like you can walk near people in GTA 5 and they'll like talk to you, but in Red Dead you can walk up to people and queue them and they will have full on discussions with you, and you can there's times where you can have actual like straight up interactions. Like you can either choose to like greet someone nicely or you can antagonize them, which I've been chased out of town by a few sheriffs because they shit talked me first. Like it's so good that the level of detail in this game and mystery, and there's just things to find everywhere. Like
two things I still want Red Dead, and I want the We Happy Few. And Devin keeps telling me, he's like, we can get them for PC. And I was like, but I don't want to play them on PC. I want them for play. And he's like, well, we're not buying it twice. And I'm like...
Red Dead Redemption 2 is...
But I've been so busy with circus stuff.
So good.
You probably need a lot of time to play a game like that.
Yeah, no, and I've...
Yeah.
With me teaching and all of that, I've just been so...
And that's one of those games, though, like, you can fully, like, you don't have to focus so much on the shooting. You can spend a lot of time just exploring. There's so much exploration. I found enough to make myself a pirate costume. So I walked around the whole game as a pirate. And just, like, there's one time where I went on a rampage in the game because they shot my pirate hat off. And I started fucking... I rampaged out of there.
Have you guys seen the webcomic, The Gamer Cat?
No.
I don't think so. I send little, like, my little... gifts that I send in chat all the time are like the Gamer Cat, but
okay.
I'll pull this up, but they did a whole slew of comics about like the different weird interactions that you have. They were like, oh look, I walked past this horse, how did I accidentally what do you mean I'm getting taxed on stealing this horse?
Oh yeah, and there's just shit like the accidental button things just make the most glorious moments. Like one time I was like going to the carriage to get a ride and I hit the wrong button and I took the carriage. It's like I kicked him out and I was like, oops. There's like random shit. I've had like guys like there's like a guy riding down the road and then he goes to like my side and I go to move and he moves at the same time. We just we go fly. The way that you fly off of horses in the game is absolutely beautiful. But there's so many weird interactions in that game that you can have, and different things too. If you wear funny clothes, like when I dressed as a pirate, people were constantly on the street heckling me like, "Why are you dressing so dumb?" I'm like, "Because I'm a pirate, lady."
Yeah.
Oh, this game. Yeah, no. So if you forget to take a bath in the game, people start treating you like shit. Like they hate you. They immediately turn hostile sometimes. And then there's like other interactions. Like there's one part where I was at a train, like things that surprise you. Like I was buying a train ticket, or no, I was paying my bounty. And then I left, I walked away, and then I immediately turned back and was like, oh shit, I wanted to buy a train ticket. And I came back and the clerk looked at me and goes, back so soon? Must be my friendly face. And I was like, I started laughing, but isn't that crazy that he would do that? Like you walk away, just a random interaction for that guy. And it's like that the whole game. There's so many random little things that you'll hear, people will say, there's things you can do, there's good things and there's bad things, and then, you know, based on the outcome of how you go about things, and layer all of that detail in with one of the best told stories that ripped my heart to pieces. Better than the first. Like it is better than the first. Yeah. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna buy it sometime. I was waiting for Sarah to buy it for me as a present because she was talking about how, because I always buy what I want, but then I would drop like small hints like, oh, yeah, I might get this game, but you know I won't be anything until Christmas. She didn't pick up on my hints, so that's why I don't have Spider-Man, and that's why I don't have Red Dead 2 yet.
And I've heard.
Oh, Devin got me the best Christmas present in the entire world, but I was so confused at what it was. He had to explain it. I opened it up and it was this gigantic case. And like I was like, what the hell? It's a TV carrying case.
Oh.
It carries all of my circus props.
Nice.
Oh.
All of them. Everything I own fits in there. And because now that I'm teaching like flow arts and stuff like that, I own a ton. So I was carrying 5 different carrying cases every time I went to class to try to get everything to the circus. And he was like, here. And everything, it's got like Velcro on each side to like try to keep the TV. But anyway, so because the Velcro, present. I can actually attach all my props so that they don't tangle with each other. So I can put little straps, and I'm like,
it's brilliant.
How clever is this? So now I've got, like, now I show it off, like, but it's huge because it's a TV case, and so I keep forgetting that, and I'll walk and I'll, like, hit the door every time I go out. So I'm, like, having to, like, remember to angle. But now that I'm, like, I'm excited to go to my first Flow Festival and be like,
yep.
Look how fancy this carrying case is. I'm cooler than everyone else.
Did you get like a prop-specific carrying case? No, it's a TV carrying case.
TV carrying case.
But it's very smart.
It's very smart. I literally carry everything I own.
I've been surprised that like my wife has let me get away with buying shit recently. Like, we were at, and maybe it's the place, because we went to Shopco in Eldora, which is closing. Their sales, I got Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy, for $18 on the Switch.
Nice.
And then we were at the Shopco in Toledo, which is also closing. The sales are not as good. They will be eventually. But they had Final Fantasy 15 on the Xbox One for $18. And I bought them directly in front of my wife without getting any shit. And I was like, yeah. I did like tweet out a picture of me holding the Final Fantasy game saying, warning, Final Fantasy stream's coming soon.
I have not played that one yet.
I've never played any Final Fantasy games ever.
What?
So they had a sale the other day that went up. And they're putting a couple on the Switch. They're going to put... the 9 is already on the Switch.
Good choice.
And 7 will be on the Switch in May.
Yeah,
no, at the end of this month. End of this month, 7 will be on the Switch. And so I was planning on buying both of those because I've heard really good things. I wanted to get 15, but I don't want the Pocket Edition. I'm sorry, Nintendo, but it's just not enough. So I got the game. I got that one, and then I bought 8 because I had a friend who used to rave about 8 all the time. Is 8 your favorite as well?
8 is my favorite.
Awesome.
I will tell you now, Squall is an annoying character. He's the main character. Just
power through.
Power through.
Power through.
He's not what you're there for. It's everyone else.
I accidentally bought 5 because Tommy told me... I thought that Tommy had told me that was his favorite game. Going back and looking at it, not even in Roman numerals, it was the number 4 that he wrote.
4?
After
really?
buying 5. 4 is his favorite because that was the first one he's ever played.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, I've played 5. 5's not bad.
Yeah.
If somebody tries to screw with you and say to get 3 and 6, don't. It's the same game.
So I've been told that, and
6 is the only one I played, and I loved it.
I have it on the. It's on my SNES Classic.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay,
play through that one sometime.
When Final Fantasy was releasing, they released like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But they hadn't released 3 in America yet, so instead of them going back and releasing 3, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, in America, they just released it as 6.
Well, so what confuses me is like looking at 5, it looks like a Game Boy game, but looking at 4, it looks like a PS1 game. Looking
That'd
at
be a remake, probably.
8, it looks like a PS2 game. Like,
so
and so I'm just like. I'm just getting whiplash.
Yeah, they're all Famicom games up to 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 7 and 8.
So 7 and 8 were PlayStation 1 games. 7, 8, 9 were PlayStation 1 games.
Okay.
10 is when you got PlayStation 2.
Yeah, 10 through 12 or something like that.
And so I don't...
11 was online.
Okay.
I was going to play 9 on the Switch and 7 at some point.
I still need to play through 7.
But I've got 15 that I want to play, but I'm afraid that's going to ruin the other ones for me.
It probably will.
Yeah, I hate playing the latest and then going back.
That's why Travis told me to play Persona 3 first, because you can't play like the best game and then go back and like, oh, this is
Here's the thing about it.
Right.
Final Fantasy 15, from what I've heard, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful, but the storyline does not hold up to some of the other Final Fantasies.
What?
Really?
Yeah,
So,
but like gameplay is
graphics-wise-
my problem.
One of the things that I like about the original, like, I personally liked the time-based. I'm that person that will just, like, grind forever to, like, perfect my characters, and I'm like, I'll spend 800 hours, but my characters have all the things. And then you do the time-based and have all the things.
I like grinding, but my issue with stuff like that is that I'll get to
all the things.
I'll get to the final boss and they'll be like, all right, I killed him in a few hits.
And this
Once
is
you
why-
get to 12, then everything gets set on automatic. And
This is
it's like you run through, everything's on an automatic timer.
Okay.
I see.
12 was, it kind of had a fun story, it had some fun characters, but actually the way my ex-husband put it, it was like his first Final Fantasy that he played. He got to the final boss, he literally set the game to start like playing the attack phase, walked into the kitchen, went to make himself a sandwich, came back, and it was done. And he was like, well,
I guess.
I guess. That was the final boss.
Yeah, I mean,
And it
I tried
kept that
to,
way.
I tried to argue with someone on that once where I was like, I don't play turn-based games. Like, did you ever play Pokemon? And I was like, yeah, I played Pokemon, bitch. And they were like, oh, then you like turn-based games. And I was like, and then I was like, okay, argument over. I can't argue
So
that.
similar to Pokemon, in the like all the old school original Final Fantasy, you're evolving your characters, you're putting in so like how, you know.
Yeah, I'm into it. I've never taken the time, and I'm like, now's the time. There was a big sale. I got 2 games. I got 8 and I got 5, which 5 I probably won't touch now. I mean, I've heard it's okay. I just, unless I get down to it. And then I bought 15, and then I was going to at some point save up and buy both 9 and 7, and I was going to start with probably 8. And then I was going to do like maybe 9 and 7, and then move to 15.
My friend did something really smart to crack Sarah into the Final Fantasy games, and that he bought her for Christmas Final Fantasy Worlds, which is just Final Fantasy Pokemon.
Yeah.
She already likes Pokemon, and she's like, I don't know, like 40 hours into it right now and having a blast. So.
I've heard great things about Final Fantasy Worlds. I'm wanting to get into some of those stories. Like, I've heard a lot of good things about 8, so I'm like, I'm gonna try 8. Like, I've
I heard a
great
lot of good
things,
and
so.
bad things about 8, but like she
Final
said,
Fantasy
just power
8 is
through.
one of those like you either really love it or you really hate it. Like
Okay.
there's two sides. I've not seen
The
any in
trailer
between.
had me
Very
a
bad,
little bit
actually.
when there was like flaming motorcycles and shit, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, that's what I'm in.
Yeah, 6 blew my mind though, because it does that thing. I mean, I don't know if I want to spoil it for you, but
I mean,
where it does that Super Nintendo thing where you think the game's over, and then
that's like I played Tales of Symphonia.
Oh my god.
And I forgot about the second disc. And so I beat the first disc. And it was like, I mean, that was an ending. It ended there. And then it was like, put in disc 2. And I was like, what the what? And then I was like, oh my god, I have a whole second disc. And so I popped it in. I'm like, there's more to this game. Like,
6 is the one where they like complete everything and then all of a sudden everything like explodes and they start over, right?
yeah, the villain wins, the world is over, and then you're washed up on on some random shore.
Literally the
And
world
then-
is like completely reset. Like the whole
Yeah.
world is reset.
Oh.
It's a whole new world to explore.
that's
everything.
interesting.
Yeah, the villain won, and now everything's fucked, and you gotta just
Start over.
survive for a
That
little while.
sounds exactly like, that sounds a lot like Tales of Symphonia when they did
Secret
that
of
shit
Mana.
to you. Yeah. Which I think Secret of Mana is on that SNES Classic as well, I think. So I was thinking about playing that as well.
That's a
But
good one too.
I've got like a billion things I need to play, but I've decided like right now for
too.
my streaming, I'm focusing 100% on finishing the shit that I haven't finished yet.
I got so
Which
many
is taking
games
a
I
lot
haven't
of
finished.
Yeah, so I've got Dishonored 2, I have Assassin's Creed Syndicate, GTA 5, Doom, Skyrim. I finally beat the Dragon storyline. I beat the Civil War before. So I'm doing the Dawn Guard DLC and then the Assassin storyline, and then I'm calling it there. And then I have Wolfenstein 2 that I really just need to start over and then finish. And then I can start on all my fresh shit. Like, the shit that I haven't touched. I have Assassin's Creed Origins. I have The Witcher. I have Final Fantasy 15 on my PC. It's
basically
nuts.
you just invested in all the games that are 100 hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
I know.
And you're going to go from start to finish, and that's where you're going with.
I still need to jump in sometime.
I'm gonna be here forever. Like, it's my life. But I dig that
And then all these
stuff.
new games are going to come out, and you're going to be like, I want you to.
Well, so I'm doing good right now because I'm not going back. Like, I got Red Dead out of my house. If Red Dead was still in my house, I wouldn't give a shit. That's all I'd be doing. Is I'm actually, like, it takes a lot in me not to drive over to my friend's house, be like, give me back Red Dead! Take it, reinstall the 125 gigs onto my Xbox, just so I can sit down and restart it from from beginning to end. And really explore it. Like, I have a few fixes right now. There's this guy named Mr. Boss for the Win who does, like, little Red Dead videos. And there's a guy named Tagback TV who does Red Dead videos. And they are my fix right now. They are, like, the only thing holding me back from just, like, quitting my job, hoarding, like, locking the door with a bag of Cheetos and just hoarding myself in here until I just finish it again. Because it is the most... To explain, the only, like, I was reading reviews and people have said this has ruined gaming for them. Mm-hmm. The only game that has, like, ever given them enough afterwards is Spider-Man on the PS4. Like, that is the only other game that they've been able to play afterwards that has given them that fix, because Red Dead is so, like, there's so much exploration to it. And there's so much, like, online, I've heard garbage for online, but, like, the actual game itself, just because there's chapters, so everything changes every chapter. So every time you've been somewhere, you need to go back, and you need to look through every nook and every cranny, because there's so much to it. And I'm still seeing new shit. And then these guys figured out how to glitch into shit they're not supposed to be in. So, like, they glitched into this taxidermist's house that, like, there's a scene and you don't go in, but, like, in the scene you're shown in there, but other than that you're done. So the guy glitched in and there's an entire house built in this thing with crazy taxidermist shit everywhere. Like, they have, like, otters rowing boats together, like a raccoon holding up a beaver, like, you know, like, dressed as a cowboy, and the beaver's like a citizen, like, oh, like, they have a head, like, the 2 floors of that. And the guy found it, and he was, like, losing his damn mind. They found, like, they glitched into, so there's a character who's, like, a charlatan that you can find his house when he's, like, doing nothing. Like, he's got his family and stuff. He's hanging out talking to them. And so you find his house, and the guy, like, figured out that, like, as soon as that scene ends, because you never get into his house, but you can, like, you sit outside the house and you even yell at him, and he's like, I'll meet you at the office. Like, and so you find this guy glitches out, or he walks out through a wall, and he followed the guy, and he talked to the guy, and he has the same exact voice. He's not the same person. It's always a random NPC, but he has the same exact voice as that charlatan. So that's what they were using as that model. And then, of course, he's like, I'm going to kill you. You got a letter on you? Because random people have letters that you can read. It's... Oh! So much of this game that I want to do myself. On top of that, you can blow shit up, and you can, like, fight alligators and bears, and you'll be sitting there, like, looking... Like, this one time I was, like, looking down a hill. I have clips on all my Instagram and my, like, on my Twitter page. But, like, I'm, like, looking over this hill, and you just kind of see off in the distance, like, a deer kind of run by, and you're like, okay. And then he comes up right over the hill and just rams me. The game's just filled full of hysterical bullshit like that. It's
when
it's the most magical game ever.
Fallout 4 came out, and I got it. Devin got it for me for the PC. And there was, like, all sorts of, like, little random nuances that I would find. My favorite one was going into this, like, subway and running into a bathroom, and there was a teddy bear with sunglasses or glasses and a newspaper, and it was put onto a toilet. I, like, took a picture, and I was like, this is the random things that I keep finding. It was just
That is why, like, those games are the best to play, is because they're so huge. And then Red Dead just did it best. Like, they've done it to a level that just blows my mind. And I'm like, when are we ever gonna get to this level again? Like, this much detail, this many, like, random little things. You know, little things like walking away from the train counter guy and coming back up and him saying, you know, like, oh, must be my personality. You know, like, just, it's the most beautiful thing, and it upsets me that, like, nothing's gonna touch that. Like,
So did it ruin gaming for you?
a little bit. Like, I've had a tough time. Like, Skyrim was even hard to go back to. Skyrim. The fucking Skyrim was like, I was like, this gameplay is like really basic. Like, I need some Deadeye. I need my horse to fly like randomly. Like, I need the physics. I need, like, for some reason my horse to freak out and all of a sudden there's a cougar right there. Like, that happens a lot in Red Dead. You'll just be like running along and all of a sudden, like, a pack of wolves will come out and be like, ah, and then you're like, oh my god. One time I was running from a pack of wolves and I ran into a guy and killed him, and then his best friend was with him and he got pissed at me, and so he chased me with his guns. And then I had to kill that guy, and then the police showed up, and I had to run away from the police.
I have had conversations with people where they're like, when my favorite horse died, my heart just broke.
Oh, yeah. I was like, so you get this horse named Buell, and I won't tell you how or why, but you get this horse, and I couldn't stand Buell because for some reason, he was very difficult to train, because you have to build a bond with your horse. You have to build up to level 4. And I just didn't feel like building back up to level 4. So I went back to my horse that was gold, and I named it Grace after my wife. Only then to find out, as I'm running along, to see this giant swinging pair of horse testicles. Going, oops. We named him my wife horse, Grace. And we all laughed about how it was a boy, like on my stream. For some reason, to which I will not spoil, Grace dies, and I was like yelling the entire time, "Should have been Buell! Should have been Buell!"
Wrong horse died.
Yeah, wrong horse. It was this beautiful. I bought a Turkoman because Turkomans are supposed to be one of the best horses in the game. They have the best temper. Each horse breed has a different temperament. So they have these things that are white Arabians that are supposed to be the fastest, but turns out rose gold Arabians are the fastest. But the white Arabians are very fast. However, if they see a snake, they will ditch you and leave you. So I bought a Turkoman, and this Turkoman I bought was beautiful. It was gold. It was gold with like little black stripes, and I'm like, this horse is gorgeous, and I fucking bonded the shit out of that horse, and I named it after my wife, even though it was a boy and it had giant swinging balls, because the physics in this game are amazing. And I have just memories of, like, there was one point where I accidentally fell off a cliff, and then I hit the ground, and then my wife horse landed on my face and murdered me, and I laughed for about 10 minutes straight. And then, because of reasons, this horse dies, and I'm like, and let me tell you, it takes a lot to kill one of those horses. Like, once you get them up to bonding level 4, their health is like, they're a tank. They're a fucking tank. And it broke me. Like, I was like, no! The game is unforgiving with killing horses, because there was a point where I had another horse. It was a foxtrotter. I think foxtrotters are supposed to be really good too. I was trying to train it, and I kept spending like a lot of money on these horses, and they kept getting murdered because they'd be low level, and I couldn't get them up to the high tank level before they would die. And I went through like 4 of them, and I was like, why? And then I spent an hour trying to catch the white Arabian, and for whatever reason, the first time I caught one, it took me like 2 seconds, and I was like, this is my horse forever. The second time, I spent like an hour. Chris was watching me the entire time. I spent an hour trying to catch this horse, and I gave up. I was like, fuck it, I'm done. Because I just needed a horse to ride back, because my horse got murdered in the snowy mountains. This game. Yeah, your horse bonding is, I mean, you get a bond with some of those horses. Not in the beginning, like, because they give you like really shitty horses in the beginning, but once you get like a really good horse, that's when it gets real. Like, you're like, this is my horse. This is my horse. It'll ditch you and leave you for a cougar, but you still love that horse. I even watched a video of like there's this guy you race and he raced this guy, he beat the guy and he had his horse. So the horse heads were sitting like this, and the guy got mad because the horse lost, so he shot the horse in the head, but then the bullet carried through and killed his horse. I was like, oh no. I felt that man's pain. I'm scratching itches because I haven't played that game in so long.
Should still stream some 8 and 16-bit games someday.
Yeah. Well, so I was thinking about, because I have my my SN30 Pro over there. I was thinking about getting into like some of the more retro. Like I found out. Have you ever heard of the Messenger?
I have. I beat it.
Yeah. So I found out that I own the Messenger on PC because it was like an Amazon Prime thing. Which, if either of you guys have Amazon Prime, you have PC, like 100% you should be collecting Twitch Prime. Like Twitch Prime, they give away free games every month. All you have to do is be an Amazon Prime member, and they give you free games. So last month they had a huge giveaway, and the Messenger was in that bundle, and I was like, no shit. The Messenger is like starts off 8-bit graphics, and then there's time travel. So whenever you go to the future,
it starts off as a Ninja Gaiden game, and then it turns into a Metroidvania game, and then you think it's over, but then you're only halfway through, and then there's a bunch of time travel. And
yeah, so whenever there's time travel in the game, like whenever you go forward, it goes from 8-bit to 16-bit graphics. So, and then when you go back in time, it goes back to 8-bit graphics. Yep. Like that's...
And sound, music,
I
everything.
keep hearing about this, but I keep forgetting to take advantage of that.
Yeah, so Amazon Prime gave that away. This month they gave away Snake Pass, which I'm like, ooh, like I wanted to play Snake Pass. I like playing it for having Amazon.
Also, Devin just bought us a 10 terabyte external hard drive to set up. Yeah, it was on sale. I think it was, I don't remember what, one of his deal sites. He doesn't want to, he like follows a bunch of deal sites like Woot and Meh and all of those things. And he got a 10 terabyte hard drive for $100.
Nice. That's ridiculous.
I was like, I'm sorry, a what? So it's hooked up to the
I have
computer
all
now.
the hard drive space I could need ever.
Well, he's getting booked right now to do a ton of video and photography and stuff like that for all the burlesque shows and flow shows and circus shows and all of that. So now we have... He's constantly doing editing work of videos, so
nice.
We at this point now need, because his camera is a 4K video
camera,
so we have all this 4K
video
on our computer.
4K, 4K is like a lot of space.
It takes a ton of space, and we've got a lot of performers that are using those for festival submissions and things like that. So
yeah, if you get a chance, like check out, like sign up for a Twitch account if you don't have one, and then you just have to link your Twitch account to Amazon, and then you will, once a month they give out free games. So like when I first started, like they gave me Psychonauts. Yeah, I got Psychonauts for free, which was nice. They gave away, like, there's just so many random games that I was like, what? Like Broforce is on there? I was like, Broforce. Let's see if I can... I
was gonna say I have one, I just have to remember what the login is.
Yeah, if you can, because once it's connected, and then you, even if you wanted to, like if you had a Twitch streamer that you enjoy, you can drop them a sub once a month for free from Amazon. Which is huge. Nice. Like that is what's fueled like a lot of Twitch streamers is just getting Amazon Prime subs, and there's like a special tag for it like when it pops up. But it's one of the most. I gotta look at my game collection here because I know it's gotten like insanely huge, just from this. And it's just they're just games that like if you go in, you have to go in once a month and you have to collect them, but once you've collected them, you're good to go. Like. Ton of shit. The Banner Sagas, the first two, I've got those. I've never touched them. I don't know a thing about them, but I've heard great things. I've been watching trailers on these sometimes because I'm like, one of the Deponias, which actually I got Deponia for free on Humble Bundle. The Deponia is like a click adventure game, I guess.
Yeah.
It'll open up eventually. Got it. I don't know what that means, but got it. Got it. I got it. I got it, Amazon, Twitch, whatever. Go. Okay, got it. Got it. My games. Okay. It was like blank for a second. I was like, oh Just a random list. Oh, Broken Age I've really wanted to play because that's from the same people who do...
Brutal Legend. I've played that one.
Yeah, I own... Some of these, it sucks though because I own on PC already. Devil May Cry HD Collection.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Darksiders. I didn't even realize I had Darksiders.
Fatal Fury.
I've played Gone Home.
Gone Home.
That game is really good. It made me cry a little. And it's very fast. Let's see here. Pillars of Eternity, I think.
Slug games, those are always fun.
There's so many. The Emmanuel Samuel looks really
Overcooked.
entertaining. I am not playing Overcooked. I do not understand this obsession with Overcooked.
What is poi?
I don't.
As somebody who currently teaches a poi class, and I'm going...
I don't know.
Okay.
Mario 64 clone.
Obviously, it's not what I think of as poi.
Yeah. There's a lot of like random...
Darksiders.
Yeah, Darksiders in here. I just realized that
I
one.
think I have that on Steam already.
I Hope is actually about like cancer. So I've heard really good things about I Hope.
Sounds like a fun
This
game.
is all shit they've given away for free. Right now they've got Snake Pass on there. That's the only one that I've... this is one of the first ones I got was... excuse me. Telltale Borderlands. My list of games just keeps growing every month too.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
So if you don't have Amazon Prime, like get it, and then you'll start getting free games a month. System Shock.
I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick.
Dig series. Well, actually, let's end here, guys.
Oh, perfect.
Just so we can kind of, because it is 2:00.
Holy crap.
So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Chris, I hope you have a fantastic day. You guys, we'll see you next week. We're going to be talking about more nerdy stuff that I don't know that's happened yet or not. No new movies coming out anytime soon, I don't think. So, once Shazam comes out, we'll have a review of that, and then, of course, Endgame is coming very soon.
Yeah.
And I'm going to watch it, and as long as I survive, and if not, I will haunt the theater until I have.
Prepare yourself to cry. I'm sure it's going to be...
Do you understand, like, real quick, do you guys understand that Infinity War is how it ended for Stan Lee?
Yep.
Fuck that.
You know he knew what was happening.
Oh, I know.
Well, okay.
I know he knows everything, but still, like, to see the movie, it's disappointing. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. You guys have a great day. Be good.